Alright, now bear with me. I know this is a lot, but it will blow your mind if you stay with me. Okay, the last date on my timeline is April 13th, 2033. You go back 2,520 days, like the Bible says, the length of tribulation. You get to 5/20/26, 526. You're going to see that pattern a lot. Okay, 1260 days after that is the Great Tribulation. 10/31/29, that's October 31st, 2029. On Repo Man 64's timeline, October 31st is the flood, the date of the flood. Okay, so these red dots are all blood moons. The blue dots are the solar eclipses, not the annual solar eclipses. The green dots are the planetary alignments that are 5 planets or more. And I'll discuss that a little more here in a little bit. Okay, so the 1335 days, as discussed, goes back to March 6, 2026. Okay, that is right after the third blood moon, the set of 3 blood moons. The first one was March 14th. We've got another one coming up here in September, and then another one on March 3rd of next year, 3/3, and this is right after that. Okay, and it's also right after another planetary alignment of 5 or more planets. And here's another one right here. And a partial solar eclipse, all crammed together right here, right after 827. You're going to see that number quite a bit, 82725. Okay, so starting with this 278, how the rest of the world views it, 278. If you go back from the tribulation, 278 days, you get to 815. We'll get to that in just a minute. But if you notice, that's right after another planetary alignment that just happened a couple days ago. All right, now this whole from 82725 or 278 to the very last day is 2786 days to 413, 2786 to 278. And here's your 278 from the tribulation to 815. Now let me show you why these first 2 days are significant. This is a lot of information, but I'm just going to go through it as quickly as possible. All right, on 815, the first Big Ben chime, 60666 days, 8666 weeks. The movie EMP, 333 days, 8518 on 815 and 265. 265, like I said, you're going to see this a lot, and I'll stop going back and forth here in a minute, but I just want you to know what I'm referencing. All the numbers that you see in this whole thing are numbers that come from the dates on this timeline. Okay, 413, 1031, 526, 36, 82725, and 815. Okay, the movie Tribulation, 1335. That's referencing this. The 1812 Overture, 526. Noah's Ark, 518 on 815. Fall of Babylon, 625. This is from 1919. The Last Day on Earth, 256 and 666, 36. That's this number. And another 666 and another 36. The Final Countdown song, 728. That's this number. One World Tower, 625 and 562. ET, 5185. Washington, D.C. National Guard that's already deployed, 81555 days on 815. Excuse me. Earth versus the Flying Saucers, 25265. That's a whole lot of 256. The Golden Gate Bridge tomorrow, 32222. That's Skull and Bones, and 158. Tomorrow is the 15th day of August. The Scientology Church, 5728. Like I said, you're going to start seeing this, 5728. Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, 666, 723, 726. War of the Worlds, filmed from 1953, 526, 782. Those are these 2 dates, 782, 526. You're going to see that a lot. U.S. Space Force, 265, 726. SpaceX. And this is another one you're going to see a lot of, is this 8555. I'll get into that in a minute. Wormwood movie, 526-322, Skull and Bones. 1957 Wormwood, 815 months on 815. Deep Impact, 327. I've discussed this 327 number in a past video, but I'm not going to really go into it now. But you'll see there's the 278 number, referencing 278. Alright, sorry about that. The Hoover Dam, 46633, that's referencing the 6326. 1960, the largest earthquake ever, 1960 Chile earthquake, which was on 5/22/1960, 526. I should have put that up there. Will be 65225 days, 827-782. This is actually the date. Sorry, I'm trying to get my hand off the camera here. 78225. 78225. And there's the 36 again. Mystery Babylon, 526. The White Lion Ship, 8275. The War of 1812, 5728. There's the 855 again I was telling you about. The Dominican Order Secret Society, 8725. 10.5 earthquake movie, 652. Now, if this is confusing you, just remember all these numbers are coming from these dates in these red boxes. There's a couple that aren't, like the Skull and Bones references, or the 666, but everybody should know what those are referencing by now. The movie Airport, 2562 weeks, or 18564 days. The movie 10.5, which is an earthquake movie, separate from this one. 225 months, 26 days. The number 23 with Jim Carrey, 185, which is the date, and the number 23 days. Donald Trump will be 4131 weeks old. 413 is the last day. Moving along to 827, this is the big one. 9/11 will be 8752 days old, 8752, or 287 months, 16 days. On 9/11, the USA was 2702 months, 8 days, 278. Columbus discovered America. This is the big one. 27802 weeks, 5 days. That is literally the date. 278 of 25. The White Lion Ship from 1619, 872-8287. Rapture from 1991, 782. Stairway to Heaven, 2872. Black Swan from 1952, 782. Time Magazine, 7528. Now, I looked this up online. I'm new to this. I don't know a whole lot about this, but it said the Jerusalem Church was founded in 4733. On 9/11, it was 2708 weeks. And on 827, it will be 727708 days. The movie The Worst Day Ever, 782 and 156 months. Now, in gematria, if you type in 666, it equals 156. You'll see that again here in a minute. The movie Oppenheimer, this one gave me goosebumps. 2 years, 1 month, 6 days, 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. And there's 256 again, referencing 526. The 1811 New Madrid earthquake, 7852. 7852. It's a Wonderful Life, which is about a bank run, 287-7888. The United States Emergency Alert System, 287 on 827. The Freemasons, 782. The Sum of All Fears, which is about a nuclear bomb, 27828 on 827. United States Capitol Building, 7282. JFK was shot, 256-3222. 256, that's Skull and Bones. George Washington's death, 2708 months before 278. The first car patent, 72825. That's the date, 8/27/25. Red Dawn, exactly 666 weeks. EMP 333 days. These are all EMP movies. 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. 322 is Skull and Bones. 256, 2278, and 728. The Statue of Liberty will be 1666 months old. Aleister Crowley, an occultist, satanic occultist. His death, 77827 on 827. His birth, 7822. Muhammad's death, 5886. There's the 588 again, and 886. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know the significance of that. The movie The Day the Earth Stood Still, 27008 on the dot, on 278. That one should give you goosebumps. Ben-Hur, A Tale of Christ, 9728 on 827. The 1560 Geneva Bible. Now this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to go through some Bibles here, and people are going to start wondering, why do these Bibles match up with these patterns? I believe the occult side has manipulated the Bibles to an extent as far as all of the different versions, and they've I'll get into that later, but here's the 156 again, the Geneva Bible 1560. I showed you what 156 means. 58727. The U.S. Space Force, 2078 on 827. 588, again, 588, 688. Tesla will be 265 months, 265 and 526. Night of the Comet, 9/11. Don't Look Up, about a comet hitting the Earth, 3222. Greenland, about a comet hitting the Earth, 265 or 855 again. Meteor, First Impact, 2728 on 827. Meteor, 1974, 558. All right, so we're going to move ahead to 3/6/26, which is the beginning of the 1335 days, right after the 3/3 blood moon, which is the third blood moon of the series of 3. The movie Oh God. So this is interesting. On 3/6, this movie will be 2526, and then if you move to the tribulation date, it is 25366, which is referencing the 3/6 here. And then if you move to the last date, 413, 2278 and 666. 278 is the date over here. All right. Earth versus the Flying Saucers, 363. 3/6. Aleister Crowley's death, 3/6. 28586. This 285 number is another big one I'll have to get into in a different video, but it is a big one. Church of Satan, 8686, 886. The Geneva Bible, 256, 3222. 1611 King James Bible, 526, 216, 614. That's Trump's birthday. The Tyndale Bible, 526. The Great Bible, 872, which is the 278 date, and 726, Harpazo. War of the Worlds in 1953, 3811. I don't know why I put that on there, it was just a marker, really. SpaceX, 28720, that's referencing the 827 again. Armageddon, 2785. 2785. King Charles, now this one's extremely interesting. King Charles on 3/6, 4033 weeks, 6 days, then you skip ahead to tribulation, 4044 weeks, 4 days, then you skip to the last day for 404 weeks, 4 days. So 44044, 40444, and then, sorry, there's too much to look at here. All right, where did I go? All right, the Illuminati. 13036 weeks, 3 days, on 3626. That's 3363 on 36. That's a big one. San Andreas quake, 5-6, 3 weeks, 3 days on 3-6. The movie San Andreas, 5-6, 2 weeks on 3-6. So this day looks like there's going to be an earthquake, if you ask me. Then we'll move ahead to the tribulation period. Here's one I didn't mention. From the Great Tribulation to 827, the date I just talked about earlier, 1526 days. Another connection. So, tribulation, 526. The first chime of the Big Bang clock, 6225, which is 526 backwards, or 88863. 63, and number back here. Revelation 12 sign, 8727. 872 is referencing this. The Russia-Ukraine war, 50 months, 26 days on 5226. John Nelson Darby, 526, 728. Already did that one. Alright, this is a big one too. 520, that's supposed to say 526. On 520 of 526, there was an earthquake in Antioch, or current day Syria. It'll be exactly 1,500 days, or 18,000 months, or 78266 weeks on this day. This is the tribulation, or the tribulation day. The Georgia Guidestones were removed 8725 days on this day. That's this day. The final countdown, we were talking about that one earlier, 287. Statue of Liberty, 728. Brooklyn Bridge, 526 on 526. It's one of the biggest bridges in America. The horn blows at midnight, 811. I see the 811 pattern a lot, and I'm not sure what it's referencing, but that's why I put that marker on there. The movie Jesus, 265, 663. Earth versus the Flying Saucers, 9/11. There's the 11/8 again. Aleister Crowley's death, 2866, 7852. 7852. His birth, 78582. 558. Keep seeing that 558 number. Oh, by the way, in Gematria, Mohammed bin Salman, his number is 588. Anton LaVey was the founder of the Church of Satan. His death, 322, 36363. 36 is referencing this date. 322, Skull and Bones. Ben-Hur, A Tale of Christ, 36666. That's referencing the 36 date. 666. The Tyndale Bible, 82752, which is referencing the 82725 date again. Barack Obama, 666, 77786. SpaceX, 833. Obama, 833. This is one of the largest earthquakes that ever happened. I think it was number 3 on the list. 25625 on 5/20/26. San Andreas Megaquake, 2605. Failsafe, 22506. This is on 5/20/26. Star Spangled Banner, 7728, referencing the 827 date again. Trump, when he first read the snake poem publicly. This date is 3782 days after that. Tribulation. 20.0 Megaquake, 1260 days. This is the beginning of the 1260 days. Right on the dot. That just happens to be 1260 days after that movie. Alright, so we're going to go to the Great Tribulation on Halloween 2029. 9/11 is 278. Referencing that. The Final Countdown, 5872. One World Tower, 782. 1979 Jesus, 827. Aleister Crowley, 562. Church of Satan, 636. Referencing the 36 date again. IPEC Goat, 287. The 1611 King James Bible, 526, right on the dot. The Tyndale Bible, 287. 1539 Great Bible, 256. 589. And Hebrew Gematria, Donald Trump is 589. War of the Worlds. I keep seeing the 811 and 812. U.S. Space Force, 811 and 812. Asteroid versus Earth, 156. Told you what that meant. 666. 562. Referencing the tribulation date. 862. The Meteor, 1979. 8275. 8275, exactly. Skull and Bones will be 10/31/1. 10/31. 10/31. The Snake Poem again, Trump read, 652. The number 23 movie, 2728. 828 is also gematria for Donald Trump. Mount Rushmore will be exactly 88 years or 1056 months. 156 again, 666 in gematria. Then we get to the last day, Armageddon. The Trinity test, 87828 days. 5782. Shh. Sorry, mailman. Now, I just had to look this up. I looked up clocks, and this one came up, the clock of the long now. You can check it out on Google. 25 months, or 25 years, 7 months, 28 days. That's referencing the 82725. Prague astronomical clock, 6265. We already went over this one. Georgia Guidestones were erected. Now they were erected on 3/22 of, I believe it was 1981. You have to look up the date, but from that date to the last day, 5322, that's Skull and Bones, and 636 is referencing the 3626 date. They were removed exactly 562 weeks before, referencing the 5/20/26. 1812 Overture, 8725. Bitcoin, 8866 days. The Final Countdown, 56226. Revelation 12 sign, 682562815, which is referencing this first day, 862. The Brooklyn Bridge, 782. One World Tower, 185, which is referencing tomorrow, August 15th. The movie Jesus, 1979, 526. Aleister Crowley, there's the 811 again. His birth, 7528, referencing the 82725 date again. The Matrix, 413 on 413, and 1776, that's the year the USA was founded. Asteroid versus Earth, 815, referencing tomorrow. Scientology, exactly 4130 weeks on 41333. The Geneva Bible again, 7285, referencing the 82725 date. 1611 King James Bible, 322. Tyndale Bible, 85272. And the Great Bible, 1539, 2578. There's no denying that it's in all three of these. Life Magazine, 526, 562. The movie Up, 872. Here's that largest earthquake in the world again. It was on 52260, 526. It'll be 26625 days old. That's that backwards. 5226, 26625. The National Guard, 2672782. War of the Worlds from 1953, 815, referencing tomorrow. SpaceX, 216, that's 6 times 6 times 6. Armageddon, referencing tomorrow, 815 again. Don't Look Up, 782. Golden Gate Bridge, 526. The number 23, 3636. Referencing this date. And again, just so you can get a look at the final timeline. Now, one thing I'd like to add is with these green dots, the planetary alignments. I don't know why no one is talking about this, but these are the planetary alignments that were 5 or more planets. There was one back in the year 2001, right after 9/11, and then there wasn't another one until 2024. And then all of a sudden, since then, there have been 7, and at the end of the month, this will be like the 7th or the 8th, maybe the 9th. That's a big deal to me, because God said there would be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Those are the stars, whether or not people want to believe it or not. Those are signs, and the way that this all lines up with the blood moons and the planetary alignments, I really think this is it. I mean, these numbers don't lie. These are not coincidences. That's why I posted this much information, because I'm trying to show you this is not a coincidence. All of these things are lining up on these dates, not just 2 or 3 things. These are just the ones that I have room for. There's more than this. I just don't have a big enough board. So I don't know exactly how this is all going to work. I don't know exactly when the rapture is. I hope it's tomorrow. Tomorrow definitely looks like it could be the fall of Babylon, or the beginning of the fall of Babylon. But we'll just have to wait and find out. Let me know what you think. Have a wonderful day. Maranatha.